Hello there and welcome. I'm really glad you could join me today. Let's just jump right in because I want to tell you plainly, there is a very common, very inexpensive little brown bottle sitting in your medicine cabinet right now that experienced home gardeners and commercial growers have been quietly using for decades. They use it to eliminate fungal disease, stop root rot in its tracks, boost seed germination, and protect their crops. But here's the honest truth. Almost nobody out there is actually using it correctly.
So what is this garden savior? It's hydrogen peroxide. Now, before we get into the details, I need to plant a little seed of curiosity for you. While this liquid works absolute wonders, I'm going to reveal the single most dangerous mistake that most gardeners make with it. It's a mistake that doesn't just fail to help your plants, it kills them outright. And believe me, it is incredibly common. I'm going to share exactly what that fatal mistake is towards the end of our time today. I also promise you that the seventh and final use on our list is, without a doubt, the most unexpected one. Most gardeners have never once considered it, and honestly, that trick alone is worth staying for.
Let's quickly look at the plain, simple science of what we're working with here. Hydrogen peroxide is literally just water with one extra oxygen atom attached. So it's H2O2 instead of H2O. When it comes into contact with organic material like soil bacteria, fungal spores, or root rot organisms, it breaks down really rapidly. It releases that extra oxygen atom as a burst of pure oxygen. And that little burst, that's what safely and cleanly kills harmful organisms instantly through oxidation. The absolute best part is that it breaks down into nothing but plain water and oxygen, leaving zero toxic residue behind in your soil. But the absolutely crucial point here is this. Always start with standard, pharmacy-grade 3% hydrogen peroxide. We never use anything stronger on living plants.
Okay, let's get into it. Use number 1, treating root rot. Root rot is your most urgent garden problem. It's a devastating, fast-moving issue caused by anaerobic bacteria that literally suffocate your plant in wet, heavy soil. But here is exactly how you can save it. You need to mix a precise dilution, 1 part 3% hydrogen peroxide to 2 parts water. First, gently take your plant out of its pot and carefully trim away all the dead, mushy brown roots. Next, you soak the remaining root ball in your diluted solution for exactly 30 minutes. Finally, repot the plant in fresh, well-draining soil. This process floods the root zone with fresh oxygen, creating an environment those rot-causing bacteria just cannot survive in. But please, hear me on this warning. Never, ever use it undiluted on your roots. Dilute it exactly like I just described, and you'll often see a struggling plant perk right up within just a week.
Moving right along to use number 2, eliminating fungal disease.
This is easily the most common way folks use it. We're talking about things like powdery mildew, gray mold, leaf spot, and early blight. A gentle foliar spray of hydrogen peroxide kills these fungal spores directly on contact. Now, the dilution here is much lighter than for root rot. You want to mix 1 part 3% hydrogen peroxide to 9 parts clean water. I always recommend testing this on a single leaf first, then waiting a day just to ensure the plant handles it well. When you're ready, spray it thoroughly in the early morning, making sure to hit the tops and bottoms of the leaves. Just a word of caution, don't use this on young, stressed seedlings. But used correctly every few days during humid weather, this spray clears up fungal issues beautifully.
Just a quick reminder as we move along, that single most fatal mistake that destroys plants and our completely unexpected 7th use are both still coming up. Keep those in the back of your mind.
All right, use number 3, boosting seed germination.
This one is a brilliant little trick, especially for older seeds or stubborn varieties like parsley or peppers. That extra burst of oxygen actually softens the hard outer seed coat and kills off any surface pathogens that might cause the seed to rot in the soil. Your dilution here is a very simple 50-50 mix, 1 part 3% hydrogen peroxide to 1 part water. You soak your seeds in this mixture for exactly 30 minutes. And you do need to be strict with your timer here. Soaking past 30 minutes will damage the delicate embryo inside and ruin your germination entirely. Once that timer rings, rinse the seeds thoroughly with plain water and plant them right away. This one simple step can cut your waiting time for slow sprouters almost in half.
Next up is use number 4, oxygenating compacted soil.
This is perhaps its most underrated use. Over time, heavy garden clay or old potting soil becomes waterlogged and dense. This literally suffocates your plant's roots by eliminating the tiny air pockets they rely on to breathe. To fix this, you create a very gentle dilution, 1 part 3% hydrogen peroxide to 32 parts water. You simply use this mix to water your heavy, compacted soil normally, maybe once every 2 weeks.
As the peroxide breaks down in the soil, it floods the root zone with thousands of microscopic, life-saving oxygen bubbles. It stimulates the good bacteria and gives your stressed plants a massive breath of fresh air. You will genuinely notice richer, deeper leaf color and vigor within just a few days.
We're making great time today. Just so you know, we are getting really close to discussing that fatal mistake, and our highly anticipated 7th use is coming up right after we tackle tools and pests.
Use number 5, sterilizing garden tools. Honestly, this is the most practical daily habit you can pick up. Dirty shears, trowels, and grafting knives are the absolute primary way devastating diseases spread from a sick plant to a perfectly healthy one. For this specific use, you don't dilute it at all. Just keep a small spray bottle of straight, undiluted 3% hydrogen peroxide right in your garden kit. Spray it directly onto your tools between pruning different plants. Unlike bleach, which will quickly corrode and pit your expensive metal tools, hydrogen peroxide kills surface pathogens instantly and safely. It's a virtually free habit that can literally save your entire growing season from cross-contamination.
Use number 6, treating pest-damaged plants.
When insects like aphids or spider mites attack a plant, they leave behind hundreds of microscopic open wounds. And those tiny open wounds immediately invite secondary fungal and bacterial infections. So after you physically wash or wipe away the visible pests, you want to mix up a gentle solution of 1 part 3% hydrogen peroxide to 9 parts water. Spray this directly onto the damaged leaves. It sterilizes those tiny entry wounds and prevents rot from ever taking hold. It is a fantastic, highly targeted treatment. Now, take a breath. We've finally reached it. The big surprise you've been waiting for.
The surprising 7th use, compost acceleration.
I have to tell you, as a gardener, this is the most satisfying discovery I have ever made. Most folks have never even considered this. If you have a slow, cold compost pile sitting in the corner of your yard doing absolutely nothing, this is exactly how you wake it up. The science behind it is beautifully simple. The burst of oxygen from the hydrogen peroxide dramatically stimulates the aerobic decomposition bacteria, the good guys that break down waste. You mix 1 part 3% hydrogen peroxide to 10 parts water. Spray your slow compost pile thoroughly with it every couple of weeks. Turn the pile so you distribute that oxygen, and then just watch what happens. There is a profound satisfaction in seeing a stubborn, cold pile turn into rich, crumbly compost in a matter of weeks, all thanks to 1 cheap bottle from the pharmacy. But now I need you to listen to me very carefully. We need to talk about the mistakes. That single most dangerous, fatal mistake that I warned you about at the very beginning, it comes down to the number you are seeing right now, 3%. Please do not ever listen to anyone on the internet who tells you to use a concentration higher than 3% on your plants to get faster results. Using higher concentrations causes irreversible, catastrophic chemical burns to living plant tissue. I've seen it firsthand. It destroys the cell walls instantly, leaving the plant looking like it died of severe drought. Always start with standard pharmacy-grade 3% and dilute it down from there. There are 2 other very real risks you need to avoid. First, never spray this in the direct midday sun. The heat causes the peroxide to evaporate before it can work, leaving behind tiny, concentrated droplets of water that act like microscopic magnifying glasses, literally burning holes straight through your leaves. Always apply it in the early morning or late evening. And finally, overusing it. Hydrogen peroxide doesn't just kill the bad bacteria. If you drench your soil with it constantly, it will completely sterilize your soil, destroying the healthy, balanced biology that takes months to rebuild. You must use it purposefully, at the exact dilutions we just covered, and never more than once a week for soil treatments.
Well, thank you so much for sticking with me through this entire explainer today. I sincerely hope that last section on the mistakes saved at least one of your beloved plants from damage. If you found this helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that like button, subscribe so we can keep learning together, and please leave a comment telling me which of these 7 uses you are going to try in your garden first. I genuinely read every single comment. But before you head out to the yard, I want to leave you with this final thought. If something as simple as 1 extra oxygen atom can completely transform the health of your soil and your plants, what other microscopic miracles are happening right beneath our feet every single time we step into the garden? Take good care of yourselves and happy gardening.